be for you. I hope you're doing well. So we've got some breaking news. It has been reported by David Ornstein that Brighton are going to be putting in an offer for Luka Vuskovic, who is only 19 years old currently, for £30 million. Now, this is shocking for a lot of people, but hear me out. I think people are maybe negating the fact that Luka Vuskovic wants to actually play football. Now, if he does not want to sign another contract with us, this means we're sort of stuck in a bit of a conundrum, because it means that we have a player on our hands that doesn't want to actually stay at Tottenham. If we go and put him out on loan again, I don't know if he'll be very pleased with that or accept that. He wants game time, and I think he wants game time at Tottenham or maybe at a Premier League club. So you're sort of left with an issue. Both sides of the negotiations have probably got some leeway, if you like. So there is still 4 years left on Vuskovic's contract. So we could ask him to sign another contract and have a release clause, for instance. We could say to them, well, you can get the player and we'll put in a buyback clause. So there are plenty of possibilities. Is this now being linked to the Van Heck deal? Yes, it is. They're saying that it could be because of the price of Van Heck. They're saying, well, we'll buy Vuskovic for this amount, and of course you can have Van Heck for the price we said, but you're going to get some money back regardless, because of the Vuskovic situation. It isn't easy. It's not always as simple as he's our player, so he'll do this, he'll do that. Unfortunately, that's not life. With players, they do have thoughts and feelings and things that they might want to do or not want to do. And it's also been said that De Zerbi has got more power now, and he makes the decisions, and that Vuskovic isn't in his plans because he's got his centre-backs now for a good few years. So could it be a case of that we miss out on a massive talent by selling him? Or could it be that we think that he's not quite ready yet, he's not good enough, and at the moment we do need ready-made players? I know a lot of people will be saying he's worth this amount more. Now, what I would say is that if it was a player that wasn't our player, of the same age, and he had one good season in the Bundesliga, would we say the same thing? Would we say he was worth double that? Probably not. I think that if the boot was on the other foot, we have to think of it that way and think, is he worth that amount actually in reality? Is that worth that much to us, maybe? And yes, you have got the possibility of negotiating. If they're offering 30, you could say, well, we think he's worth, say, 50. So we'll meet in the middle and say 40. So I'm not saying that that's the price that we are going to be getting for him, but we definitely could still get we could definitely get a bit more, I would say. But as I say, it depends on how we feel about the Van Heck deal. Could that go a bit to pot if we don't offer a player? And obviously that means it's a replacement as well. There's lots of different variations and facts to this. And I think that people maybe sometimes think of it as simple, and I just don't think it is that simple. There are different things that you have to think of. Let me know what you think. I'm sure a lot of people think he is worth a lot more, but as I say, is he, if he wasn't our player, would we view him as worth a lot more? And also, if De Zerbi doesn't want him and doesn't see him in the plans, are you okay with that? Are you accepting of that? And maybe putting a buyback clause is the way then to have a way back if he is good enough that we can get him back. I don't know if Brighton would agree with that, but then they don't get the player, but then we might not get Van Heck. So, as I say, there's a lot of different parts to it and different factors to actually consider. It's not really, I don't think, going to be simple. Van Heck does want Tottenham apparently because of him loving De Zerbi. So let's see if that plays in. If he puts up a bit of a fight, he's only got a year left on his contract. So let's see what happens. Please make sure that you leave me your opinion in that comment section, because I'd love to hear what you've got to say about this particularly, because I know there is probably a lot of uproar about it. Thank you so much for joining me. And of course, you've got the little cameo from Nessa. That is my girl Frenchie. And my other Frenchie is sitting here, but he's been behaving himself and hasn't tried to come onto the screen. But yes, thank you for joining me. Have a very good day, and please take very good care of yourselves.